So the Celts have just destroyed the Egyptians, and this is a huge moment because they have taken the lead in terms of, I think, cities under their control. So their empire is looking good as a whole, but like I said, they've got to be careful of the Shoshone. The Shoshone have a lot of naval units, and they seem like they're just waiting to go to war with somebody. So, especially with Jakarta down here, not being protected by anything but just one composite bowman. So that will be an interesting setup here. It's turn 165 going into 166. It's 1050 AD, and the first range boat that I've seen so far is actually from England. Where did they go? Boom. There it is. So that should be a kind of a reoccurring theme, and that will make these naval battles so much more interesting, I think. Obviously, and as we progress through the eras, as I've said. These wars are going to get so much more entertaining because the AI is going to have more ability to do things. They don't have to just land units all the time. They can do something more than just sending their units to embark, their land units to embark, and then getting most of that stuff destroyed, taking huge penalties for attacking it while embarked. But we'll see. Brazil has publicly denounced the Ottomans. And that is because they are pretty close together. Remember, the Brazilians have no military, but at this point, they kind of don't need it. I would say they're going to be okay unless they get maybe if someone were to declare war on them with a massive naval fleet or maybe a huge army. But, I mean, I guess that's one thing, is that anybody can take any city with a big enough army or a big enough navy, at least in this campaign, because everything is so open. There are a lot of, in previous AI-only battles, there were times, I remember specific times thinking like, okay, this AI has almost an unlimited power to their navy or to their army. Doesn't matter which one. They have they've got so many numbers on their side, but because of a well-placed city, it was unable to take. Like I'm looking back to the Native American campaign where the Sioux tried to take over. I think it was the Iroquois, and the Sioux had oh my gosh, probably an unbelievable amount of units. I've never seen that many units in one campaign. And it was just all land units. But they couldn't take this one Iroquois city because it was just really well placed. It was kind of towards the end of the game. And it was just there's a river there's a bunch of forests, and the AI was just not smart enough to navigate, and it couldn't move fast enough. This is something a little bit different. I really think that with the numbers on your side, anybody is susceptible to an invasion. And look at this. So the Shoshone are mobilizing, but it doesn't look like it's going to be against the Celts. They might be going after Songhai, or maybe it's Songhai. That's what it looks like. Also, we'll have to keep an eye on if we see anybody beginning to move throughout the deep seas. The English have denounced the Germans. We have Austria denouncing Germany, as well as the Inca denouncing Brazil. So let's keep that in mind, that we might see more and more. We have the Ethiopians going for a new city, maybe a one-tile city, possibly. Now, there's no land that is only accessible through deep sea. So everything right now, I guess is what I mean. What I mean is everything is accessible right now through shallow waters. So when the AIs get deep sea sailing, it's not gonna really change things up for them too much. They should still, the Huns, they'll still have the same amount. I guess for some people, for some of these islands, like here next to the Netherlands, no one settled here. And maybe, maybe Persia, Shoshone, Arabia, India, the Netherlands themselves, maybe they don't want it. So for somebody like, the Japanese all the way up north, it might be a little bit easier for them to get over there. Maybe they want it because the Japanese have what? They only have 2 cities, I believe. Yeah, they do. They have Osaka down here. So maybe that'll give them, I don't know. Maybe that's a bad example because I don't know how the deep sea will let them get, I guess, yeah, it will. Actually, that is a good example because remember, the deep sea, right now, everyone's movement is being kind of blocked by, if you don't have open borders, then you cannot move anymore. So right now, a lot of the movement it's not a global world, is what I'm trying to say. Nobody can just move throughout the world. I'm sure there's a lot of AIs that don't know anything. Because remember, and it's very important for me to point out that the AIs don't have, they have the fog of war. We can view everything, but the AI can't view everything. So there are some AIs I'm assuming, like the Shoshone, that can probably only see a few tiles north, a few tiles south, and a few tiles east and west. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know what the heck they're doing right now. They've got a huge fleet going after somebody, and they're about to squeeze through Songhai territory just east of their capital. We have to keep an eye on this. I'm thinking maybe Sweden. Sweden's almost completely undefended. These swordsmen and pikemen are not going to do anything to defend against a fleet of that size. And then Sigtuna is in just a really poor location because you're talking about, what is that, 5 naval attacks if they are going to go for Sweden. They could be going after somebody that they're already at war with that I just had forgotten about. That's a possibility. Same thing for the Celts. I mean, the Celts are pretty undefended too, but obviously Sigtuna is really open. I mean, that city's going to fall for sure no matter what. I just don't know when it's going to happen. If they don't get more ranged units. And I don't think they will because, you know, both of these tiles are already being taken up by melee units. The swordsmen and the pikemen are taking up these units. So, I mean, I guess they could. I just, usually the AI, I feel like the AI tends to sway away from that sort of thing. Oh, they have open borders through the Huns. So that's something to keep in mind. Where are you going, Shoshone? I don't know where you're going, but with this amount of boats, with this big of a fleet, I think if you choose wisely, that is, which usually the AI is pretty good at choosing other AIs to go to war with, only with small militaries. They do a pretty good job at that. The Netherlands have added a Reformation belief to their religion of Protestantism. Okay, very cool. The Inca looking good. They got a hold of their natural wonder, making them a lot of money. And they have founded these 3 cities too, so that's pretty good for them. Venice, your unique unit time is coming, so you better be ready. Ooh, look at America. Look at Washington here. A lot of units, a lot of land units, though. Again, that's going to be another interesting part of this scenario, is to see exactly how many land units, whether embarked or not, are going to be able to take over some of these like island sort of nations. Because, yeah, they get a huge penalty. An embarked unit that's a land unit that's attacking a city is going to take, like, what is it? I think it's at least a 33% penalty for attacking a city while embarked. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how... I think for sure it's kind of a known thing that all the wars that we're going to see here are going to be really, really bloody. Like, for instance, if Washington were to send over these units towards Denmark, Denmark's now capital, they would probably eventually take it, but not before losing a whole bunch of units. Okay, here we go. Most literate. We have the Mayans actually 3 techs ahead of the Portuguese. Wow, that is impressive. But yeah, that's pretty good for them. And then we have a tie, 2-way tie between Portugal and Spain, with the Netherlands here tied with America and India and Shanghai. I apologize. Venice doing pretty good for themselves. Not bad. They're not falling too far behind in technology. Got to keep in mind, though, that the Mayans being this far ahead in tech will be a big deal. That means that they could possibly get access to frigates faster, battleships, destroyers, some of those really advanced ships. And if they declare a war while they have like kind of the next era, the next version of ship before anyone else does, then yeah, they're going to dominate. Have you ever seen, a battleship go up against a frigate? Usually, it's pretty one-sided. So, technology, even though there is no science victory, technology will still play a pretty major role in this campaign, just because ships are so important. So important. And unfortunately, the Aztecs will not be able to use their Jaguars. It seems like those are already kind of older units. The MPs have been founded, though. I guess the MPs have started being built, I guess, by Shaka. Shaka's building his MPs. That's what I should have said. Drew, your English sometimes just kills me. Kills myself. I'm killing myself with my own English. So, yeah, we'll see if the MPs actually are... They could be used right here to attack Tonga. You remember, these are really, really powerful. I mean, I've talked several times about how awesome Shaka is at using the MPs. And it's not hard to use the MPs. That's because, yeah, the AI can use the MPs to their full advantage. Just like something like the ship of the line, the AI knows how to use it because it's just a simple advantage. It's like when I talk about like something like the MPs, and I talk about how like the AI is able to use them really well. I just mean that they're simple. Like for instance, the Mongolians, they never use their Kashyyyks the right way. Human players are the only ones that are really able to dominate with the Kashyyyks, or I guess the camel archers from Arabia too. Same instance. Because for some reason the AI doesn't understand how to shoot and then run away. Shoot and then run away. Like that's all you're supposed to do. And that happens a lot. That's multiple units. Whoa! What is going on here? Is that Brazil sending over units to Russia? Russia's looking good. I mean, Russia, remember, there was 2 coalitions that formed up. It was one against Egypt, the other against Russia. So maybe that's why they've built so many units. I'm assuming that's why. And we're about to hit the second wave of wars, I think. Remember, we've talked about this a lot. The first kind of big wave of wars hit around turn 90 to 110. And I'm thinking around the early 200s is when the second wave hits. And then like past 250, it's just like all out war, where there's just wars going on all over the place. So that I think is what we're going to see here. So we're approaching that slowly. Remember, a lot of people have not peaced out with Russia either. So that's something to keep in mind. That would explain why Catherine has not stopped her production of building units. But she's defending herself really well. And she's got herself, we've talked about this in previous videos. They're going to be really hard to take because of just the composite bowmen. The pikemen won't do anything. I guess they might be able to take back their city very easily. If someone were to take Moscow, it's already surrounded by 4 pikemen. So you're just talking about one after the other. So they'll for sure take it back, unless, of course, you take St. Petersburg and then Moscow, and then boom, gone. Then they disappear in thin air. That's not really fair. Maybe I should have thought about turning complete kills on, but I hate turning complete kills on. Before, I didn't know how to do these AI-only battles. I used to have to turn complete kills on. I hated it. Because AIs with only one unit would stay around for just years and years and years, and it was just kind of annoying to still see them there, because it's like they're not in the game anymore, pretty much. Yeah, so here are the Mayans. Mayans doing pretty good for themselves. We talked about the Inca getting their natural wonder. And I don't know how. Well, they must have settled this city this is their second city that they settled, because this has more population. I'm thinking that's actually not true. This city, the Chichen only has like 2 hills and 1 grassland, which they're located on top of. They're not getting that much food. Whereas this city, on the other hand, a bunch of grassland. Even if it's not worked, I'm imagining that it's possible that this city was built third, but I'm not 100%. It probably was built second though, just because I'm thinking combat strength. I'm thinking we compare the combat strength, and that'll kind of give us tell us what's going on. America has denounced Ethiopia, so lots of denouncements, and of course we have to keep in mind that once Assyria now trying to approach the Russians. Slightly, but Assyria doesn't really have... Man, look at all these siege weapons. These siege towers, I should say. Yeah, and Russia is sending out their... They are actually ballsy enough to go after Samoa. Pretty ballsy move. I'm sure that didn't help because... I'm sure that the Polynesians and the Assyrians were kind of working together there. Okay, so we have the World Congress that's been founded. That's pretty nice. Now that we have no mods, like usually when I've been finding these World Congresses, usually like the game breaks for a second and it's messed up forever. That actually was not too bad. Okay, so I'm going to try to, again, like always, try to propose something that doesn't really mean much. Yeah, we can embargo city-states. That's perfect. Okay, yes. So we're going to embargo city-states, and we'll see what happens to the city-states. For some reason, sometimes they don't vote for that. Sometimes they say nay to that. I don't know why. Guess they don't realize it. This is such an interesting area of the map. I want to see this area break out into war. There's a lot of valuable land here, too. A lot of jungle resources, which, is going to lead to science after universities are discovered. So I'm excited about that. Then you have the American island here, too, which is only going to grow in strength in terms of units. Oh, those denouncements are starting to roll back in. They're really starting to roll back in. See, part of the issue right now that I think a lot of the AI is starting to recognize is that a lot of the units, a lot of like possible wars, offensive wars that AIs, bam, deep sea. Here we go for the Mayans. That figures. You know what's interesting about this is that the Mayans do not have, I guess they have 1 boat, but that's it. And that's not going to be enough. And they have a musketman. What was I talking about? A lot of the AIs right now are starting to notice, okay, because I'm seeing all these denouncements, I think that Second World War is about to break out soon. We have the Celts also. Yeah, I'm spying on the Celts. Celts plotting against the Romans. Whoops, I don't mean to tell you there. Where are they? Here are the Romans, and here are the Celts. See, the Celts are naturally, because they don't have that much land, they won't build many land units, I'm assuming. So they'll naturally build a lot more naval units, I'm thinking. And the Shoshone never like revealed what they were doing. They're gonna get kind of caught in between, like, an area where they'll never get back to their empire, and they're going to get destroyed out there, not, or I guess someone's going to just roll into the capital and take them over too. That could be a possibility. Okay, I'll try to finish this statement. The problem right now is that for the AIs that want to go to war with other AIs, like, no one's that weak yet. You know what I mean? I mean, even the coalition that was declared against Catherine of Russia, I mean, she's not that weak yet. So I think what it's going to start with somebody ballsy or somebody with a big enough military to grind down another military, then another coalition will form up, and then that's kind of the chain reaction. We've always talked about these chain reactions. I feel like I should come up with like almost a, I don't know. We should just come up with phrases. We're so used to these Civ AI only battles now that we know how to. There are some things that are very predictable, which is nice, but at the same time, it's okay. It's okay. The mods obviously change the AI behavior, but it is interesting to see, like, we know how the second, third, fourth waves of war occur, at least in the beginning of the campaign. Towards the end, I mean, everything's, up for grabs, but in the beginning, you can almost just exactly predict what is going to go down. You know what I mean? Not exactly. You don't know what, AIs are going to build wonders, for instance, or you don't know which AIs are going to dominate. I'm just saying, like, you're able to figure out exactly how the AI calculates when to go to war, who to go to war with, and stuff like that. Arabia looks like they're going to be the first to settle on this nice long island here. Getting that mountain would be nice for an observatory, and it would be pretty close to their empire, especially when deep sea sailing is discovered by Harun al-Rashid. Pretty nice, pretty easy to kind of reinforce if they ever needed to. Or if ever wanted to. Polynesians out there in the deep sea, but they've been able to do that. Who do we have? Celts plotting against Arabia. There you go. Mines are looking good. The thing is, though, I mean, because they might be good they might be looking good in science, but the problem is that they're not really building a military, and specifically, they're not building a navy. They can build as many land units as they want. That's not going to help. It's about building those naval units. And also, we might be approaching the time soon, where a lot of these smaller boats, these ancient era boats, are going to be upgraded. Ooh, England building up those that arsenal of ranged ships. Another golden age. Well, I will take it, I guess. 1280 AD, 188 turns into the campaign. I'll probably check on the info addicts next turn. Or next video, I'm thinking. Yeah, we'll probably do something like that. Look at India. Oh my goodness. Look at India with all these crossbowmen. That is crazy. So many crossbowmen. Yeah, that is quite a lot. We have the Moroccans building the Chichen Itza. And the denouncements are really starting to pour in now. Again, I think that our prediction might be coming true soon here. Honolulu pretty undefended, but again, they're going to be fine for now. Probably until the next maybe 50 turns. Polynesia will be fine in terms of their capital will be fine. Oh man, here we go. So we have research agreements, we have friendships, we have denouncements, all taking place right here. So lots of diplomatic things. I mean, for a while there, we were in the Dark Ages. It seemed like we were in the Dark Ages, where the worlds wasn't really communicating. And they were just doing their own thing. Now, it's a little bit different. Celts are playing against Spain. All right, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.